Hello, my name is Mordred Viking, and I'd like to welcome you to this stream of Hearts of Iron 4, where we are playing as the Argentine Commune, formerly known as the Patagonian Workers' Front. We've had the civil war against Argentina, and we won. It was a very close-run thing, where mostly it was about mobility, so able to push through, exploit breaks in their line, just because neither side really had enough troops to properly hold the entire front. So it's just kind of cut off, counter cut off, counter cut off, counter cut off, until basically we took this region. Once that fell, things started to go rather better for us because we'd stolen all of their industry. But the Buenos Aires state really did a lot of good for us. In the meantime, we have been rebuilding the country. We're back up to 100% stability, which is kind of redonkulous. We have cored all of Argentina, so we have more than enough manpower now. So much so that we've actually dropped our manpower law from the 10% to 3%, although we have another 3% that we can add on without changing conscription rules. We have been building up our forces. We've been upgrading our mountain troops so that they actually have artillery and are making space for tanks as well. And yeah, things are actually going quite well. We're currently building up some more of our 10 combat with infantry units, just so that we have something to hold lines with, and so that we can build more mountaineer units, because I am planning to use the mountaineers most aggressively as like my core breakthrough unit, in the place of where I would usually use tanks. Other than that, we don't have a huge amount going on the international stage. We will probably start trying to grab a bunch of the South American nations, but we're not going to do that just yet. Second World War has broken out. Germany and France are at war, as is Donau Adriabund fighting against the Third International. We have Soviet Russia fighting against the Russian Republic, led by the one and only Wrangel. Meanwhile, Russia is also fighting against the Turkestan Khanate. The Germans are also fighting against the Japanese, so there's probably some pretty interesting naval stuff going on there. The Entente's at war with the Third International, mostly by pushing via the two Sicilies into socialist Italy. So Italy's going to be a very, very significant battlefield currently. The American Civil War is already over. The Combined Syndicates of America won that one in probably record time. Meanwhile, the Spanish Civil War, also over. The Spanish having won. The Cairo Pact war against the Ottomans, also over, though they are now fighting against Iran. Dominion of India is fighting against the Bharatiya Commune, and South Africa's civil war is still ongoing. But other than that, it's a very peaceful world. Very peaceful. It was a war of 1,000 cut-offs. Oh, I like that. That's a good name for that. That's a cool flag. Need to try and make that in Strymix CV's heraldry designer. Go for it, McHappy Face. Go for it. That'd be kind of cool to see, actually. Okay, you two are also ready for deployment, so we'll just go ahead and add you to Mansurova's army. And in fact, speaking oh no, she didn't get into power. Wait, yes she did. She is the head of government. Which is kind of cool. Wait, is she a totalist? She is. Nice. Anyway, in other news, we are just building up our armies at the moment. Things are fairly quiet on the Argentine front. We should probably be thinking about how to go after main Brazil soon, though, or some of the other minions. Cancel that. I actually wanted you to start a new field marshal. Hello? There we go. And then we can create a new field marshal. We had someone who was very cheap. I think it wasn't you. Was not you. Not you. Not you. Who was it? I could have sworn we had someone. Ah, it's you. Wickens. So I'm going to go ahead and promote you into field marshal. Then you can be the second field marshal, working with the garrison forces. And the reason I'm doing that is that I could use field marshal front lines if I need to. In fact, did you level up at all? Yes, and you actually can get aggressive assaulter, which I think would be a nice idea. So we'll do that. And then also I think offensive doctrine once we get another trait slot. This guy's going to be a really good field marshal. I can feel that already. Meanwhile, Mark Augier, who's smoking a pipe and has a fancy hat. He's one of the ones who's kept his hat. Organizer got a little bit of experience. Infantry leader should have gotten a fair bit. And then Desert Fox got a little bit. And he starts out with Mountaineer, which came in very useful. Then Mansurova, much the same. Also no one to really upgrade into, although she does have a skilled staffer. And would be able to get expert delegator if we made her into a field marshal. Central America has joined the Third International. And we have bypassed to destroy Argentina, because we've already done that. So let's go and get Baldomero Looks Out, which gets more stability, more war support, and more change in totalism. And then finally, Force the Chilean Respect is how we get our independence, hopefully. After victory in the Argentinian War, it is time for us to look out as a nation to unite the socialists of South America. Right, so first thing I'm going to do, cancel your current orders. I'm going to put some of you there. Some of you there. Some of you there. And then finally, some of you there. So let's put half of you. Divide you into 4. And then we'll get the Mountaineers, and we will put you here in the north to go after La Serena. Is that where I want you? No, it's not. Actually going to want you here, I think. With the intention of pushing out to there. Go! So very much using the Cyans to hold the line, while the Whites do the punching. I'm going to change you into green, just so we have a bit different. And we have an available military factory, which we're going to put into making guns, because I do just want to have a lot of guns. We're also going to need to start building some tanks, soon, in fact. Which is going to be good. That only gets you to 24. I actually want you to get up to 30, so we're going to need another 6. So you actually want 12 divisions. Okay. And we can actually deploy one of you. So let's go ahead and put you in Cordoba. And when you arrive in Cordoba, we're going to say, guard that area. And then we'll have you training. Then that's going to mean that I can have you automatically assigned to Cordoba. Which will be good. And it'll be very, very nice when we get La Resistance and we can just set training so that it only trains units that have no experience yet. So the units that have experience just doesn't train. It's one of the changes in La Resistance, which I'm particularly happy with. Okay, light tanks coming in. Done. Next up, medium tanks. Research. Just looked him up. Augier was quite the character in real history. A Frenchman who served in the Waffen-SS, but also resigned when he realised the National Socialist didn't actually mean it with the socialist bit. Ended up in Perón's army in Argentina. Interesting. Meanwhile, the civilian factories we've been building are almost done. And then we're going to be in a position to do a lot more development. In fact, I wonder, do we want to upgrade our infrastructure? Let's get our infrastructure to at least level 5 throughout Argentina. Actually, no, let's not. That's a bit of a waste of time. What we should instead do is make sure that we have at least level 7 everywhere where we can actually build useful things. A level 8, actually, in Buenos Aires. Screw it, level 10, because we're going to have a lot of factories in Buenos Aires. And then our steel and oil, we're also going to want to upgrade. So let's do something like this. Let's do Buenos Aires first, and then we will upgrade the factories in Buenos Aires. Yeah, that looks good. Baldomero looks out. Done. For too long we have been stuck under the fist of Chile. This must change, and we do not fear the use of force if need be. Have I ever played Old World Blues on or off stream? Could we expect Old World Blues stream anytime soon? I have done Old World Blues. I just haven't uploaded any of it to YouTube. I was doing mostly Old World Blues when I was in America for 2 months. It will be making a return. I'm currently playing through New Vegas, so I actually understand what the hell is going on in Old World Blues. Once I'm done with New Vegas, then we will return for sure. And then I don't just have to play as the Mexicans, because I'll actually be able to play as, like, New Vegas, various Brotherhood factions, New California Republic, etc. Because I'll actually know who the people are. Because up until this point I was like, I have no idea. How do you deal with Chile? You warm it up. Very good. Sad that we can't break away from Chile without violence. It would be nice if we could all Chile out and just talk things out. Nice. How have I been liking New Vegas so far? Saw some of the early streams of it. I like it. It's good. Definitely has more of a, like, an explory feel than some of the other ones, and also it's just a bit stronger story-wise. Yeah, I like it so far. No complaints. Literally playing New Vegas right now. Hence the question, I guess. How's the conquest going? There isn't one, really. Just kind of waiting for things to happen. So when can I add field hospitals to my mountain units? I can't, because I haven't even researched it yet. Never mind. 36 days. Meanwhile, we have another doctrine that's almost finished. Boom. Mechanized offensive. We're getting through these very quickly. Or at least it feels like it's quick. I'm not actually sure it is. Then again, it is already 1940, so there you go. I've already got a ton of anti-crash stuff for New Vegas. It's only crashed once. It's actually been surprisingly reliable. Alright, 1940. That means 1940 research technology. And then decryption. Anyway, Kent. So how is Chile going to deal with us? Ah, socialist immigration. After stabilizing our nation, we're now able to take advantage of the rising immigration in our nation. Many socialists and syndicalists in Europe see the necessity of spreading their ideology to the world, and we are the first socialist South American nation that has had the chance to spread it to this continent. This gives us the opportunity to further boost our population and to become the South American home for socialism. And we can only do this while we're at peace. So I'm going to say, let's attract the Spanish socialists, because they've already been knocked out. In fact, screw it. Let's just... Italian, French, and Belgians. Projected immigration report for 1940, plus 150%. I'm curious to see what this exactly means. More factories. What do we need? More guns, frankly. Just double down on that. Immigration report of 1940. With the rising tensions in Europe, many socialists seeing our nation as the perfect place to continue the revolution. Large swathes of immigrants have decided to cross the pond and live free under socialism. Welcome to Argentina. Oh boy. 80,000 people or so. Nice. And I don't really have any other uses for my political power at the moment, so this is all good. I'm quite happy to spend it on that. The only other area where we could do with a bit of improvement would be the party popularity, but that is ticking up over time. When's the next wave of troops going to join that? Not anytime soon. Stop training. We'll just have to manually spot when people join that army, because they should automatically do it. Alright, Chilean respect has been forced, apparently. South American friendship. So after we force them to respect us, we're going to make them like us more. We must show our support to all of our South American countries, and show that, as a continent, we are united. Are we, though? Are we really? Chile has shown us respect. After receiving word of our threats towards their nation, should they choose not to show us the respect we deserved, Chile has decided to do the right thing and grant us our complete freedom. With this act, we are now free to act. We are now a free nation. Huzzah! Then this will create the new faction. So we're not actually going to join the Third International. We're going to be creating our own. Just curious to see if there was any other international relations stuff, but it doesn't really look like it. No. Alright, let's attract the Dutch Socialists and the Bolsheviks from Russia. 113%. And there we go. Mission accomplished. Probably. Wait, you're playing as the Workers' Front of Patagonia? No, I'm playing as the Patagonian Workers' Front. And don't you dare call me a Workers' Front of Patagonia again. That's insulting. Albania has declared war on the Hellenic Socialist Republic. Ooh. Right, because Greece is in the Third Internationale, but is at war with the Donau Ariabund, which now includes Bulgaria. So Bulgaria and Greece are in fact fighting again. And this time Bulgaria's actually winning. Do I need planes? We will do eventually, but it's a fairly low priority because I have no production for aluminium. We would have to import it all. And there is no aluminium anywhere near us. We'd have to get to Peru for the first aluminium supplies. Up here in the north there's tons. But where we are? No. Okay, we have finally researched the field hospital. We could now get air research. Speaking of that, get upgraded fighters. I think we probably should. Like, fighters is an absolute minimum. Yeah, we could also use AA instead. What does AA cost to build? Just steel. I don't need AT, just need AA. You know what? I kind of prefer that idea. Yeah. Seeing as I'm superior firepower, having AA in our units is going to mean more damage potential. And in fact, what we could even do is remove a mountaineer, add another artillery, add right, I don't actually have AA researched yet, so we can't do that. Never mind, don't save it, it's fine. Damocles Project. The German spies have recently uncovered the papers of a research and development program sponsored by the members of the Third Internationale. Dubbed the Damocles Project, it is an extensive multi-nation study into the destructive powers of nuclear fission, with the intent of creating bombs with a destructiveness vastly greater than anything now known. Still no units ready to join. Come on! I get it, my industry sucks, but hurry up. Mostly sucks because of a lack of resources. So we really probably should start investing in resource extraction. Possibly even going so far as to close our economy. Although if I do that, then I'm going to be blocking other people from buying oil. Which would be a bad thing. Then again, the Socialist Republic of America isn't exactly hurting for oil. I mean, we are actually exporting resources. So we wouldn't gain very much. Let's buy some steel. It'll dramatically improve our production. South American friendship completed. Okay, let's go and get Estados Socialistas de Americana Latina. Under the Union of the Estados Socialistas de Americana Latina, the socialists of South America remain strong, and socialism will be spread throughout the continent. So I guess we're going for a puppet game. Yeah, the CSA won already. Shortest civil war ever. It was kind of ridiculous. Meanwhile, in Germany, the Germans making a couple of pushes. Ukraine took 5 states. Oh, I didn't even realize Ukraine was having a civil war at the same time. Interesting. French Republic are attacking into Socialist Norway. Reichsstadt Sweden is killing Norway while being killed by Finland, but once they've dealt with the Norwegians, they can all turn around and deal with the Finns in the north. Finland needed to push a lot harder than they have. Italy, however, not doing too hot. Although we did anticipate that this would all die. This is where they'll hold. Right, let's have you join them, and have you two start training. And we should start building up these units much quicker, because my gun output is also going to be dramatically increased. And it really is. Apparently having metal for guns is kind of a good thing. And now we have less than 1 million manpower. Our manpower percentage is still steadily ticking downwards. Huzzah! National Protection Alliance declared war on Mongolia. I thought Mongolia was basically dead already. Somehow they survived. I thought Markleek was losing. Or did they do a white peace with Markleek so that Markleek could create the National Protection Alliance? Is that what happened? Or did Mongolia never declare war on Markleek and it was the National Protection Alliance who did it instead? Something like that. Tau! Thank you very much for the Twitch Prime subscription, resubscription. Very much appreciate that. 2 months now, that's awesome, thank you. Much obliged to you. Medium tank ones. There we go. So now we need to switch to something else. Which I think has got to be excavation, really. Yeah, we'll do that. Actually, is there an artillery upgrade for 1940? There is, but it's just a damage one. Let's get the excavation finished. We're going to have more than enough oil production, so I don't think we need to do anything with that either. And a whole bunch of things bypassed, so we can only do the revolution in Uruguay, and then liberate the Brazilian workers, which will declare war on Brazil. Uruguay is a small independent nation between us and Brazil. It declares itself neutral and does not like to get involved in international politics, meaning its military is rather weak. This makes it the perfect nation to try and influence to join our side. And then after this, we will need to shift our armies over here. Which means that infrastructure through that little segment is going to be rather important. Because this is about to become a massive, massive choke point. Oops. So let's make sure that that is being done. Especially as that's a... Oh boy. Yeah, not good. Let's actually make you a very high priority so we can make sure that all of our units here are supplied. Marklik was at war with both the NPA and Mongolia and was winning against Mongolia but never quite finished them off. Then the NPA stomped them, which saved saved Mongolia. Brazil has joined the Entente. Well, this is where things get interesting. Because we can't be having that now, can we? No, Mordred, we can't. I mean, Brazil joining the Entente's just giving the ump, isn't it? That's right, Mordred. We can't be having the ump now, can we? No, Mordred, we can't. Did I bully Chile already? I did. We are now fully independent from the former overlords. So they have got about 30 divisions to my about 30. We have more civilian industry, but they have more military. But only just. Overall, we're actually fairly evenly balanced. It's just going to be once the Entente forces start to arrive that it's going to become a burden for us. No, they never joined our faction. Baratia wants docking rights? Absolutely.